Hello, everybody. I'm basically just going to be going over my plans for the league start and how these changes have actually affected everything that my group planned on doing. I'm going to be playing with the real James Humphrey, Kevin, and Alan, who all stream as well on Twitch. I will have their, their Twitch links down in the description. Basically, we planned on having James go with a Golemancer again, running Vitality with increased Aura effect, and both Aura effect and carrying golems got nerfed, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to do that and still have pretty good effect, with group play and everything like that. And then Kevin had also planned on playing Blade Blast, which got nerfed as well, apparently. A lot of the things that we were planning on doing got nerfed, but we still have a lot of plans in the backup, so that's hopefully going to not affect us too much. I'm gonna get to actually emptying out all of my stash tabs from the old league ritual into just standard, I suppose, so that I can maybe work on projects over here for some more videos in the future. And if you're looking forward to those, subscribe, like, do the things that push my videos to more people, please. But yeah, we are still going to be going ahead with the plans that we had. We may change some of the builds. I haven't really been affected that much. I'm still planning on playing an Ice Shot Deadeye. Not a whole lot's changed in that regard. However, the power of my character being scaled by the other players in the group might be affected more so than we even think now, especially the survivability with apparently a Vitality nerf. I did notice that Divergent Berserk for the spellcasters, the more spell damage, got nerfed by a quarter, or I guess by 3/4. It is now 0.25% instead of 1% in the patch notes per quality, so it can't be absolutely just busted with running level 4 enhance and things like that. They also just added a bulk trade for prophecies so that you can now buy a bunch of those, which I'm really excited for. They made a lot of really good changes. Overall, I'm really excited for everything that they did this league, all of the changes they made. They decided to buff a lot of the things that I was already planning on doing loot-wise. So all of the old league mechanics are now going to be, I feel like getting the maps early is now going to have a bigger benefit than ever, just because everything that you do in the maps is going to have an effect on the income that you're going to be making, even more so than it would before, where you would have to specifically target farm very specific things. They did nerf again into the very specific things. They nerfed the invitations apparently, so you can only technically witness the boss if you opened in your hideout. So if you bring a whole group in to witness a boss, and then you all go to a different person's hideout and witness a boss that they were ready to kill, things like that, you can't farm invitations like that anymore, which is one of the plans that we had to make money, but I'm not that worried about it. I think we'll still be totally okay. Other than that, I'm pretty sure that we'll be totally fine. Things just may be, a little hectic at first, trying to figure out exactly how good the league mechanic is. We might be 4-man farming into the max ranks of it. Not sure yet. That'll be something that we have to figure out. But hopefully we can get a whole lot done, farm really fast, farm really hard, get rich fast. And if you want to see that, I will be live for probably like the first week of the league. I'm definitely going to be doing a 24-hour stream. I guess most likely a 24-hour stream on the first day. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, all right. Ultimatum Challenge League. Great opportunity for a fresh start in a new economy. All of your old characters and items are still present in the standard and hardcore leagues, but you're encouraged to join the new leagues, complete challenges, and demonstrate your mastery of Path of Exile. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Okay. Major new content. Added a new strength and intelligence skill gem. Reap. A bloody scythe. Yes, that is going to be super sick. I watched this in the video. Absolutely insane. If enemies survive, you gain a blood charge, which raises both the damage and cost of the skill. So it's going to be really good for bossing, is what you're telling me. I don't know if you drop the stacks after the 5th hit, though, if you don't kill a boss. Another new strength and intelligence skill gem, Exsanguinate, which actually looks so fucking good. Oh my god, I'm excited for it. Release several tendrils of blood. It looks so insane. Targeting enemies in a narrow angle in front of you. Physical damage, inflicted physical damage over time debuff, which can stack up to 3 times. New strength, Petrified Blood. I'm just going insane. Apply a buff that protects the lower half of your life, preventing some of the immediate life loss when damaged by hits, and applying the loss over time instead. Your life cannot be raised above low life other than by flasks. Low life is now 50%, keep that in mind. And while above low life, skills will cost life as well as mana. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Added a new strength and intelligence skill gem, Corrupting Fever. I am really excited for this one. I think most builds are going to be using it if they have the space for it. Draw your own blood to power a buff for a duration. Letting the skill inflict the corrupting blood debuff on enemies you hit, dealing physical damage over time for a short secondary duration. The buff's duration will be refreshed if you spend enough life before it expires. Added a new strength support gem, Bloodthirst. Supports attack skills, causing them to deal added physical damage with weapons equal to 2% of your maximum life while on low life. Added a new strength support gem, I just read Bloodthirst. Added a new strength and intelligence support gem, Cruelty. Supports skills that hit enemies, causing them to deal more damage with hits. You also get a cruelty buff, which makes all supported skills deal up to 50% more damage over time, based on the amount of damage of the initial hit. So that's going to be basically just making ED able to boss, is what I'm reading. Okay. Blood magic support has been removed. 2 new support gems have been added in its place. You should have put that above these 2, yes? Okay. Added a new strength support gem, Arrogance. Supports any skill with a reservation. Skills reserve life instead of mana. Oh, never mind, I'm dumb. Blood magic is this, and these 2 are... Okay, yeah, no, that's right. Instead of mana, and have increased aura effect. The reservation multiplier decreases as the gem level increases. Any existing blood magic support gems will be converted to Arrogance support gems. Okay. Added a new strength support gem, Life Tap. Supports any skill. Skills cost life instead of mana. If you've spent a certain amount of life, you will gain a life tap buff, which causes supported skills to deal more damage. 13 new uniques, 14 new div cards designed by our supporters. Ritual to the core game, rebalanced around the lower rate of encountering ritual gameplay. Please read the ritual changes section for more information. I'm actually really excited for that. I wish there was like a little skip button. Introduce the Vol Reliquary Key, which can be found as an extremely rare drop throughout the game. When consuming the map device, it grants you access to an ancient vault with a chest that drops a special foil version of a Vol-themed unique item. Uniques dropped in this way have an equal weighting. This is the rarest reliquary key yet. Was hanging out with my baby brother. Welcome back. Welcome back, Sassy. Introduce the Veiled Chaos Orb, a currency item that reforges rare items in a similar way to a regular Chaos Orb, but guarantees the result will have a random Veiled modifier. This is going to be really strong, I think, to get early Veils uncrafted. Snake, you can't hold me here, but I don't plan on going anywhere. This item can be obtained from betrayal encounters or found as a rare drop throughout the game. I feel like that's going to be really strong. 6 new vendor recipes, but they're not telling us what they are. We have to find them, by the way. First, Omega Lol. 3.5 hours. 33227 right now. 5 new equipment-based types available in the Atlas. That's pretty cool. Minor new content and features. Various new league rewards, such as catalysts. There's 2 new catalysts, 3 new incubators, and 4 new scarabs that are all brand new. Brand spanking new, super cool. I don't know how they're going to do like the incubators from metamorph items when they already have metamorph incubators that give catalysts. Maybe it'll only give the better versions of catalysts. I don't know. Continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, effects, and environments. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. I feel like it's going to be really strong coming out the gate. Atlas and map changes. Conquerors of the Atlas encounters can now be accessed through a map item. When you have a Conqueror's Citadel ready to go, Speaking to Zana will open the map device interface with a map containing the Conqueror's Citadel already placed in the first slot. Currency can be applied to these maps in the same way as a regular map, and adding fragments or scarabs alongside the map will enhance the map further. I've been wanting this since I started playing the game. Made a build with the damage of an old ore stacker, only costs a few billion alts. Big. Big. Okay, so basically this means like you no longer have to run white maps to kill your conquerors. I don't know if the map will be tradable or not. If it will, then serious farming will be absolutely fucking broken, and I love it. Let's see. First slot. Apply to these. Yes. Okay, so currency can be applied to these maps the same way as a regular map. Adding fragments or scarabs alongside the map will enhance the map further. Item quantity will only increase the amount of rewards dropped by the conqueror by 20% of its total value. That's still really, really, really good. That's really good. If you can get 110% quant on a map and it takes 20% of that, you're working with a fair bit of quant still for extra loot. For, you know, influenced rares, the Conqueror's Exalted Orbs, the Awakened Gems, things like that. The Maven will now only witness encounters in the Uncharted Realms Atlas region for the player that created the encounter. That is a massive nerf to a lot of people's strategy, where they were going to farm, you know, all of the invitations and things like that. Awakening bonus objectives no longer provide additional chance to receive an Atlas mission when completing a map. I never did Atlas missions anyways. Not a big deal to me. I mean, I did, but like very early. Very, very early. Once I got to red maps, by the time I was there, I stopped doing them. So, okay. Reduce the chance for map areas to contain Abyss, Ambush, Blight, Breach, Domination, Essence, Heist, Legion, Metamorph, and Torment encounters by 20%. The chance to encounter a Zono mission containing any of these mechanics has also been lowered by the same amount. So basically, they are trying to like make each zone very specific. So if you really, really, really want to farm Alva Temples, you can fucking send it in Hayward Hamlet or Greenwich Cairns, wherever she is, right? That's basically what they're trying to do, it looks like. Reduce the chance for map areas to contain a Delirium mirror by approximately 20%. Reduced. I feel like I never found them anyways, but that's fine. I don't know why they didn't just throw this in here. It's exactly this. It's literally the exact same thing. They just didn't. Okay. Zana is now half as likely to offer a unique synthesis map when offering missions. That's fine, because we still get like 4 times as many maps as we were before. So we're only having what was already insanely multiplied. My dog doing? Puppy. What are you doing? You just chilling? My 2 older dogs got they got their nails clipped yesterday. I clipped their nails. It was very nice. I'm going to shower. If you leave, I hunt you down and eat you slowly like KFC fried chicken. I eat fried chicken fast, but that's fine. Unfortunately, the version of Harvest changes. Unfortunately, the version of Harvest that was active during the Ritual League was far too rewarding. I sort of agree. Various adjustments have been made to Harvest crafting, and the chance to encounter a portal to the Sacred Grove has been increased. That's really good. I'm glad that they kind of took away, but also added in incentives here. We have published a development manifesto that goes into more detail about the changes and the reasoning behind them. Increase the chance for map areas to contain the Sacred Grove by 60%. The chance to encounter a Zana mission requiring you to complete a Harvest encounter has also been increased by the same amount. The Sacred Grove now contains a minimum of 3 pairs of plots that can be harvested from. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. When you would go in and you would find one with 1, you're just like, hello? Like, what? Only 1? What the hell is this? Like, booty. The Heart of the Grove encounter will no longer appear in place of a normal Harvest encounter. Instead, it can now be accessed through a Sacred Blossom map fragment that sometimes drops from tier 4 Harvest bosses, which come from the really good crafts, basically. Completing the Heart of the Grove encounter for the first time now unlocks 5 extra Horticrafting station slots. That's really good. Allowing you to store up to a maximum of 15. Let's go, dude. 15 useless crafts. Poggers. All right. Crafts are no longer guaranteed from seeds. Now, seeds of tier 1, 2, and 3 each have a chance to provide a craft, with tier 4 seeds still guaranteeing a craft. Please note that the number of tier 2 and 3 seeds encountered in Harvest plots has remained unchanged, so the encounters will remain as challenging as they were before. Some crafts that had overly deterministic behavior have been removed. These include most annulment type crafts, crafts that removed a modifier of a specific type, and all type specific divine crafts. Which I don't know. I don't know if I like the divine one, because that was very, very, very min-maxy. You had to go out of your fucking way to find divines for everything. If you want to craft a perfect item, I feel like having to spam divines to get lucky instead of divining 1 stat at a time is kind of silly, especially because it was a pretty rare craft for each specific type. So if you had to find a chaos divine, you know, and it was your last one, it feels so much better like finally finding 7 of them and hitting your 1 in 7 chance to get the max roll and finishing your item than it does to fucking spam 1,000 divines trying to get lucky, because you have a 1 in 1150 chance, you know. Type specific exalted crafts that augmented modifiers of specific types of items, can now only be applied to non-influenced items. This does not apply to the existing modifier, which applies an influence modifier to an already influenced item. Crafts that added random Atlas influences to certain types of non-influenced items have been removed. In their place, crafts that randomize the existing influence on an item, while also reforging it with new modifiers, have been added. I mean, randomize the existing influence. What does that mean? Influenced mod or influence? Because does it take it from Shaper to Redeemer, and if you don't want Redeemer, you redeem to randomize and hope you hit a Hunter. Like, what? How does that? Are they talking about mods or no? I feel like that could be clarified a little bit. Rebalance the weightings of seeds so that you're seeing type-specific crafts at a more equal rate. Cold, Fire, and Lightning. Thank God. The weightings of crafts have also been rebalanced so that the more powerful crafts, such as Exalted type crafts, are now rarer. Weaker crafts, such as set an item to 3 sockets, have also been removed. Thank God. Those were so annoying. Set an item to 3 sockets. If I found a Sacred Grove and I needed a 3-socket item, I wouldn't even do the Sacred Grove. I would rather spend 20 minutes getting to the next act and getting a 4-socket item. Like, what? Those were very dumb, and I'm glad that they got rid of them. Other league changes. We have rebalanced league-specific rewards that were provided far more readily through other content compared to the original league content. Some rewards will now be exclusive to their respective league or much rarer from other types of content. For example, Stygian Vices are now almost exclusively available as rewards from Abyssal Depths encounters, and Delirium Orbs are now exclusive to Delirium encounters. I feel like Delirium Orbs don't drop enough anyways, so keeping them just as a base drop is fine. Stygian Vices I agree with. If they were to go with the really common items, I would agree with it. Delirium Orbs didn't feel like they dropped nearly often enough. So, Abyss changes. You can now find Abyss Scarabs from various sources. Each Scarab guarantees an Abyss encounter in an area, with higher tier Scarabs containing additional Abyss encounters. An additional Abyss Jewel from Abyssal Troves, or increased chance for an Abyss in an area to lead to an Abyssal Depths encounter. Rare Abyss Jewels that drop from Abyssal Troves now use the well-rolled modifier system. That is so sick. Added several new Abyss Jewel modifiers. Various existing Abyss Jewels modifiers have also been updated. Please read the Abyss Jewel balance section for more information. How long are these patch notes? Holy shit. They are very long. I am like a 6th of the 7th of the way down the page. Blight changes. Blighted maps can now be corrupted with outcomes similar to regular maps. Chests in these maps have a chance to drop tainted oils, which can be used to anoint corrupted items. That is so sick. I am very glad that they did that. I'm very glad that they did that. I love tainted oils. I think that is a very sick idea. They never fail to disappoint when it comes to, like, coming up with new stuff. The absolute creativity of this team is insane. Blighted maps now apply the map's item quantity modifier to the blight chest count at 20% of the total value. Yeah, I think that's okay, because they're already a loot explosion. So if you have a really juicy map, say like 300%, obviously it's not going to happen, but like if that happens, then having 20% of that into the chest feels okay. Various oil modifiers that affect maps have been updated. Please read the oil changes section for more information. Okay. You can now find blight scarabs from various sources. That is sick. Each scarab guarantees a blight encounter in an area, with higher tier scarabs guaranteeing an additional blight boss, a 50% chance for blight chests to contain an additional reward, or blight lanes to contain an additional reward chest. I feel like that's going to be the best one just because it's better. It's cool. Betrayal changes. I'm excited about this. Modifiers that are unveiled through June are now more powerful than before. Previously, when an item was unveiled, the veiled modifier added to the item would be equal to the highest tier modifier available in the crafting bench. Now, the modifier being unveiled no longer counts as a crafted modifier and will be stronger than any craftable veiled modifier. So I can't tell if they are decreasing the level of the crafts available or making the actual unveil stronger and keeping the crafts at what they already were. I can't tell based on the wording there. You will still obtain progress towards unlocking the craftable versions of these veiled modifiers. However, progress towards unlocking craftable versions of the modifiers is now slightly faster, and many crafts have had their worst tier removed. Thank God. The weighting of veiled modifiers had been rebalanced in a way that makes modifiers exclusive to 1 or 2 types of equipment more common. Wait, the weighting of veiled modifiers has been rebalanced in a way that makes modifiers exclusive to 1 or 2 types of equipment more common. Okay, well, modifiers that can appear on a wider range of equipment types are rarer. Okay, good. So basically, like, that's good. That's going to mean, like, Elrion jewelry is now going to be more common, and Verici gloves are now going to be more common. Those are really common ones that people need, but can't find. So that helps SSF players a lot more than it helps Trade League, but either way, that's going to be really strong, especially early League if you can get them. We've improved the Betrayal reward system, so the Slaying the Mastermind is now more worthwhile. The Mastermind is slain. Her Immortal Syndicate members drop their rewards at 1 tier higher than their current tier. That's pretty cool. This change introduces a 4th tier of reward from each member and gives more reason to use a larger variety of syndicate targets and safe house leaders. Some of the best existing rewards have been moved to the 4th tier. We've also improved some of the less interesting or less valuable rewards. Huh. Safe house leaders no longer lose ranks when they're interrogated for mastermind intelligence. That's fucking sick. I love it. Betrayal targets are now more likely to drop veiled items with their signature modifiers. That is also very good. That is a double buff to that. Polished and gilded scarabs can now be obtained as a rare drop when bargaining during a betrayal encounter. Good, because it was only rusted, and that was trash. Scarabs can no longer be obtained from bargaining in areas under level 68. Good, because that was trash and really annoying. Like, what do I need a rusted scarab at level 40 for? Give me gear. Various craftable veiled modifiers have been rebalanced. Please read the crafted veil modifier balance section for more information. Okay. Added 10 new beast crafting recipes. Splitting an item through beast crafting now applies a split modifier to both items, preventing further splitting. Same thing goes for fractured fossils. This is the fractured fossil version of this is basically just so that you can't have a good time with blueprints, which I don't like. They already nerfed blueprints, and then they're doubling the nerf. So now it's literally just useless to get a good blueprint. There will be no more beast splitting. Party members that are not the map creator are now required to be within a 250 unit radius of a captured beast in order for it to be added to their menagerie. On one hand, that's okay. On the other hand, I can't decide how much I hate it. I don't like them nerfing a lot of the more lucrative methods, because people who've practiced those methods should be rewarded for putting the time in, but I guess at some point it is too much. I don't know. Blessings of Eshtul, Zoph, Ulneedle, and Chayula can now be used to upgrade an associated Breachstone to a higher tier version. I love that change so much. That's insane. Delirium changes. Added and rebalanced various cluster jewel notables. Please read the cluster jewel balance section for more information. I'm very sad about that. I'm scared that it's going to be bad. The quantity and rarity bonus applied to monsters from Delirium encounters has been lowered, as is now more consistent across monster rarities. Previously, the monsters of normal rarity had a disproportionately larger amount of quantity and rarity being applied to them compared to monsters of higher rarities. So less loot, thankfully. Delve has been rebalanced in a way that makes better rewards appear earlier and more frequently at shallow depths. Very deep depths no longer provide such an exponential increase to the rate of encountering high tier rewards. Fractured fossils now also apply a split modifier to both items. That's what I was talking about. Preventing further duplication. Wait, no, that also means that exploding ones aren't going to be... Oh. As a result, fractured fossils can no longer be applied to items that cannot be split. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, actually. No more explodey bow or wand, basically. Yeah. You know how you get an explodey chest? There was a synthesis on wands and bows that could happen. That was really, really strong, and now it can't. I mean, one person will probably get one this league, and it will be there forever. Usually, a group like MPs would just buy it from Mirror very early on, and then just, like, split it with fractured fossils over and over again for people for a price. So, this is funny to me, because they nerfed blueprints again. And they nerfed the amount of XP it takes again because nobody was doing heists already, and now they're making them worse. Okay. Incursion changes. Alva can now convert your completed and ready to run Temple of Atzoatl into an tradable object that can be consumed in the map device. You will need access to the map device to use this convert function. That's really good. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. Made a lot of changes to the Temple of Atzoatl. As you may know, specific rooms in the Temple of Atzoatl can drop unique incursion items that can be later upgraded. Many of these unique items have been improved. Please read the Incursion Uniques Changes section for more information. Why'd they put this one in parentheses but not any of the other ones? Whatever. Previously, the Temple's boss, the Omnitect, dropped random rare items with special incursion modifiers on them. Now, it also drops rare items with incursion modifiers based around the themes of the rooms your temple contains. Okay. Okay, having higher tier rooms also causes more rare items to drop. Okay. Specific rooms now add specific monster packs to the temple, and temple modifiers have been improved, which results in more monster density, challenge, and reward. Temple modifiers have been improved so that if your temple has more higher tier rooms, then it's comparable to a good map. We've also performed a modernization pass on room rewards so that they're competitive with newer leagues. So Incursion is when the Temple of Atzoatl opens and it's a big ass orange portal with like the feathers sticking out, and you go in and you have to like wait for the circular doors to like slide out of your way, and you upgrade the rooms and shit. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay, the explosives rooms now contain some basic chests that can be opened with flash powder kegs if you don't need them for opening a path elsewhere in the temple. The Shrine of Empowerment room in the Temple of Atzoatl now randomly empowers one connected room that is tier 2 or below and upgrades it by 1 tier. The Sanctum of Unity room now randomly empowers 2 connected rooms that are tier 2 or below and upgrades them by 1 tier each. Okay. The Table of Sacrifice in the Hall of Offerings room now allows you to sacrifice a unique item for another random unique of the same item class. That's good. I like that. The Monsters Killed progress bar in Temporal Incursions. Oh my god. Thank god. Thank god. I have been wanting that since I started playing the game. Added 3 new incubators related to Blight, Delirium, and Metamorph. Abyssal incubators can now drop Abyss Scarabs. I like that. Cartographer's incubators can now drop Shaper and Elder influenced maps. Ooh, as well as with Delirium orbs applied to them. Maps with Delirium orbs applied to them. Good for SSF. Once again, I would say Shaper and Elder maps drop a lot already if you take that passive in the outer, the middle passives with Maven or whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. Decadent incubators can no longer drop Parandus League exclusive unique items and now drop Scarabs more often. Okay. Changing incubators can now drop items with an enchantment from the Eternal Labyrinth. Huh. Okay. Fragmented incubators can now drop offerings to the goddess and can no longer drop Pale Core key fragments. So those are actually going to be more worth, I think, for at least the first couple weeks. Because the offerings to the goddess can be used in your map device to open a... Okay. Foreboding incubators can now drop Harbinger Scarabs. Ancient orbs can now only be dropped from foreboding incubators of level 68 or higher. The item drop pool for the Mysterious Incubator has been updated to include all of the new rewards. So maybe Mysterious Incubator will actually be good. Metamorph Changes added an accelerating catalyst, which adds quality that enhances speed modifiers. So that's actually going to be really strong, I think. Hello, welcome back. Okay. Noxious Catalyst, which adds quality that enhances physical and chaos damage modifiers. They actually didn't go over that one. That's crazy. That's cool. That's going to be really strong, I think. Added an Unstable Catalyst, which adds quality that enhances critical modifiers. Yep. Created 10% more damage and have 80% more health. That's insane. I love it, though. That's a good change. Fractured items no longer have a visual effect applied to them. Thank God. Talismans no longer drop using the well-rolled modifier system. Sources of Parandus coins have had their coin counts normalized. The selection of items sold by Kadira has been modernized and their costs have been adjusted. Accordingly, vendors will no longer offer any scroll fragments in exchange for Parandus coins. What? Wait, maybe that just means I can sell Parandus coins for scrolls of wisdom, but they won't give me scroll fragments? Okay, so consuming an offering to the goddess in the map device now opens portals to a random trial of ascendancy for the Eternal Labyrinth. Trials open in this way will not award an offering to the goddess upon completion. That's good. I like that last part. Interacting with the divine font will now display a window with the available enchantments. For example, after completing the Eternal Lab, a window will be displayed where you will have the option to pick one of 3 helmet enchantments or an enchantment for your boots or gloves. Wait, how is that an example? What? Okay, whatever. I'm confused. Will it always be 3 helmet enchantments and 1 for gloves and boots? Or when I do the very first lab and I only have glove enchants, will there only be 1 option? Or will there be 3? Because that's the lab that I'm running. I wish it was clarified a little better. Threshold has been changed to 50% for low. Yeah. Light radius has been adjusted accordingly. Cool. Cost and reservation system for skills has been extensively reworked to add new options. All skills had either a mana cost or a mana reservation, with a limited number of effects allowing you to spend different resources instead of mana. Skills can have costs of mana, life, energy shield, and or less common resources such as rage. Good, because when you reserved all but 0 mana, which was 0 mana, you couldn't cast Berserk, which was kind of weird. Very strange to me. Most modifiers that previously affected mana costs now just affect costs. I like that. And will thus apply to all cost values. I like that a lot. I like that change. Modifiers which still specifically refer to mana costs will only modify the amount of mana a skill costs, not other cost values. Yeah, that's okay. Similarly, there are now some modifiers that specifically modify only life costs. If all skills requiring souls to use is not a cost, and thus modifiers to cost will not apply to them. This has technically always been the case, but because that distinction did not previously matter, a couple of modifiers refer to this as a cost. Those descriptions have been corrected. Similarly, the base reservation of a skill can now be an amount of mana or life, or both. Most modifiers to a mana reservation now just affect reservation, without restriction to either resource. Several mechanics have been adjusted to account for these changes. Oh my god, this is so boring to read. I don't want to read all of this, but I have to. Okay, that's fine. Percentage reservations are now stored with more precision internally. What? Allowing them to have up to 2 decimal places in the percentage value. Is that going to be displayed in game, or are we just going to have to guess? However, the total amount of resources reserved must still be a whole number. This prevents some cases where small reductions in reservation values would have no effect due to rounding. Oh, dude. As an example, if a skill reserves 50% of mana, a modifier granting 1% reduced reservation will now change the reservation to 49.5% mana, where previously would still be 50% due to the change not affecting the percentage by a whole number. Dude, that would drive me nuts. That was driving me insane when it felt like I had to meet thresholds by buying yet another RMR jewel to hit that number to just, like, it would be such a massive difference. Ugh. Where previously it would still be 50% due to the change not affecting the percentage by a whole number. However, it is still not possible to reserve less than 1 of something. So for a player with 100 mana, 49.5% reservation, will still reserve 50 of it. For a player with 1,000 mana, 495 would be reserved. Okay. Reserving mana or life no longer involves spending anything. So you don't need any current mana to turn on an aura. You just need enough of your mana orb to be unreserved that the aura's reservation will fit. That's pretty cool. However, while previously reservations were mutually exclusive with cost, this is no longer the case. It's possible for skill to have both a reservation and a cost. What's up, Snake Eye? Welcome back, dude. What is this? What did you just... The Thing. Is that the guy from the... Looks like the guy from the Star Wars parody, lol. Okay. But using a reservation skill a second time to turn it off does not require paying the cost again. That's good. That's good. I like this. I like this a lot. I think that's just talking about, like, mines and traps, but that makes sense. The most notable case of this is, yeah, mine skills. These all have costs as well as reservations, which must both be satisfied to use a skill and can each be modified separately. This also means that mechanics that add to the cost of skills, such as the Voidbringer unique gloves, will now affect skills with reservations, which previously escaped this due to being unable to have both. Likewise, support gems that add a mana reservation to skills, such as Blasphemy, no longer inherently remove the cost as part of that process. What are the major details? I have literally been going over this for like 30 minutes, and I am a quarter of the way down the page. I can't just condense it. I can't. The stats which limit the total rate of recovery per second from leech have been changed. Previously, these limited any recovery based on what kind of leech it came from, but they now limit recovery from any leech based on what kind of recovery it is. This has no effect, except in cases where one kind of leech applies a different kind of recovery. For example, the Keystone Immortal Ambition makes Life Leech cause energy shield recovery instead of life recovery. Previously, this was limited by maximum total recovery per second from Life Leech. No, it's no longer broken. Oh, it's so average now. It was so strong. Why'd they have to fix it? Okay. Modifiers that allow your hexes to affect hexproof enemies, such as the Cost Freeze Will unique body armor, no longer allow your hexes to affect yourself while you have hexproof, as you are not your own enemy. I mean, tell that to my psychiatrist, dude. The Corrupted Blood debuff has been updated. It now has a maximum sack size of 10. Oh, thank God. And is now consistently treated as being completely separate from bleeding, except where it's not. Okay. Various bleeding-specific modifiers that may have previously applied to Corrupted Blood will no longer apply. Modifiers that affect both bleeding and Corrupted Blood, such as the of staunching modifier on flasks have had their descriptions updated to reflect this change accordingly. Monsters that apply corrupted blood have been balanced around these changes. Really? Monsters that apply corrupted blood have been balanced around these changes. Cool. Corrupted blood applied by monster modifiers now have different values, and these values are now calculated based on the monster's level rather than its main hand damage. Can you use CI and Divine Flesh? I have no idea. Cletus Mines, lol. Cletus Mines, sorry. And these values are now calculated based on the monster level in order to hand damage. So some effects which raise monster attack damage no longer scale corrupted blood in unintuitive ways. Thank God. Call of Steel no longer has a cooldown. Increased character size is now capped at 100%. I like that. I like that character size thing. Okay, so can you use CI in Divine Flesh? Let me Google what Divine Flesh is because I don't know what that means. Divine Flesh. Keystone passive. 50% of chaos damage grants X. Wait. What? 50% of elemental damage taken to chaos damage grants additional maximum chaos resistance, but causes all damage to bypass energy shield. No, they can't be used together. Like you would die instantly because you don't have any life. Anger now grants additional fire damage to spells at gem level 1. Oh, it got buffed. It got buffed a lot. Wow, that's a massive, massive buff. Okay. Divergent quality now causes the buff to grant 0.25% more spell damage per 1% quality. Previously 1%. Thank God. That was way too strong. Blade Blast got a pretty heavy nerf. Really heavy nerf, actually. 210 to 279. Wow. This was reduced by 103 for the max. Added damage effectiveness of 50%. Previously 60%. So this will still be a very strong skill, I think. I think it'll still be used a lot because it'll still be very strong. The duration of Blade Vortex actually got decreased. +2. It is now also smaller. The damage has been lowered. And the damage has been lowered again. So the base got lowered a lot. And the percentage got lowered for added damage effectiveness. Okay. Bladestorm now deals more damage with bleeding while in Blood Stance. That is going to be so good. If you can make a bleeding Bladestorm build, I feel like that might be bossing meta. So they nerfed both Frostbomb and what was it? Wave of Conviction. The actual exposure to it was way too strong, especially for early league. General's Cry. Mirage Warriors now channel for a duration of 0.6 seconds. I mean, I think that's okay. That was a really strong skill. So, and people were using General's Cry without even it being a General's Cry like melee build for that, just because it was super strong. Cursed enemies now take increased damage while on low life with punishment. So they nerfed punishment a little bit, which is a nerf to players who basically, I don't know, you would never really self-cast that unless you were playing a carrying golem build and you had time to run around. Exerted attacks now deal 20% more damage per previous attack exerted by this Warcry, previously 30. So that is a 10% more damage multiplier nerf. Skills granted by items. What? No longer activates if there are no valid linked skills. That's kind of annoying, but also makes sense. I saw Mathel abusing it, where it was on his left click, so that he would always have the Gale Force on his Deadeye. Summon Carrying Golem. Cascade skill now has a 6-second cooldown. That's a massive, but okay. The skill also now travels a shorter distance and has less area of effect. 11% less damage. Still be strong, obviously. It feels very balanced now, honestly. The spread range of spore pods from Toxic Rain is now affected by area of effect modifiers. That means that having higher area of effect causes the resulting spore pods. Ooh, wait. Slightly lowered, but they increase with area of effect. This is going to be the bossing thing, I think. Each spore pod now applies 5% less movement speed to nearby enemies. Wait, that's actually broken for single target. That's going to be like Blade Blast. That's literally going to be like Blade Blast. Vigilant Strike. No longer grants increased fortified duration. Now grants fortify melee hit for 6 seconds at gym level 1, up to 11.7 seconds at gym level 20. They didn't say what it was before. Oh, they didn't have that before. That's really strong, man. Okay. No longer grants increased fortified duration. 0 to 2 seconds on melee hit. Okay. Okay. That's I never used this, and I don't know anybody that did. They nerfed the absolute shit out of Vitality. That is a massive nerf. Okay, that is a third nerf. That is a Full 33% less. Wow. Okay, so Wave of Conviction now deals more damage. A lot more. So Wave of Conviction totems might actually be a thing for real. Not kidding. Not even trolling. But the actual exposure, like I said earlier, has been nerfed. So it's actually going to be really strong. 20% more effectiveness of added damage is really, really strong. As well as this massive boost to single target, like the actual baseline damage. Like if you think about it, 1585 from 1459, that's like 126 or some shit like that. More physical damage at gym level 20. Okay, Vol's skill balance. Vol's skill gems can now only be obtained from a set of specific methods, such as Vol side areas, div cards that specifically grant Vol skill gems, and the Lapidary Lens and the Temple of Azawatl. I kind of like this. Not a whole lot, but I think it's okay. I think it's fair. Whatever. Damaging unique enemies now generates 6 Vol souls, previously 3, per 2% life it loses, with a 1-second cooldown. That is good, I think, for like ZDPS builds, but it's going to be no change for builds that are like mid-tier. Maybe it will. Maybe I'm crazy. Specific skills. Vol Arc. No longer cause modifiers to buff duration to apply to this skill's soul gain prevention. That's good. Now has a cast time of 0.7 seconds. That's good. Now has a soul gain prevention duration of 2 seconds. Previously 6. That is insane. Vol Arc is going to be fucking broken. Okay. Vol BV was nerfed very heavily. Yo, that was nerfed very heavily. Holy Jesus Christ. It actually gets worse. Oh, it lasts longer though. I don't think they even out. I think it's less of a nerf because of this. And this, however, I don't know. I can't tell if I like that or not. It's okay. It's going to feel exactly the same. Now expends 15 souls per use, previously 20. Stores up to 4 uses. Soul gain prevention duration of 1 second. Really? Wait, they buffed Vol Cold Snap. Okay. Holy Jesus Christ. Vol Cold Snap got a massive fucking buff. Yo, wait, is this not trash anymore? Okay, hold on. 34.3 base cold damage per second at gym level 1. Okay. Per second at gym level 20. That's actually a massive buff. Okay. Oh my god. This is Vol Cold Snap literally got the biggest buff I've ever seen. Okay. 80% of base attack damage at level 1. Previously 50%. That is really good. 99% of base attack damage at level 20. Previously 61. That is actually... It might actually be useful. Oh. I lied. Okay, so it'll still be trash. Vol Earthquake got an upgrade. Ends after 9 aftershocks. That's pretty good, I think. Soul gain prevention of 4 seconds. Down from 5. So Vol Flame Blast got a little bit of a buff. Nothing crazy. Just 10% more and 10% more here. Vol Ground Slam. Cannot be exerted. Can now be exerted as though it was not a Vol skill. It's kind of annoying. It's okay, though. It got a really, really, really big damage boost, and it stores up to 4 uses instead of 3. And the Soul Gain Prevention is only 1 second? What? People are just going to be spamming Vol abilities then when they're mapping. What? Okay. They buffed Vol Ice Nova, too, so it's usable instead of being trash. They buffed it by a fair margin. They almost doubled the total max damage and minimum damage. It's like 40% or something. Can use it twice. Soul Gain Prevention duration of 2 seconds. Added damage effectiveness of 120% instead of 70. That's really, really strong. Vol Lightning Strike, also buffed. Vol Lightning Trap, also buffed by a lot, which is good for my boy Beanies. Vol Rain of Arrows got a massive buff. Holy Jesus Christ. Vol Reeve, which also got a buff. Okay, Vol RF. Now deals percentage of sacrificed energy shield and life as fire damage per second. So it got a nerf. First nerf, okay. Okay, massive nerf to VRF. Massive nerf. Okay, so it is not... Okay, cool. Okay. Vol Power Siphon is not trash anymore. That's pretty good. That might actually be usable on single target and have an impact. Vol Spark is pretty much no change. Vol Spectral Throw. Got a massive buff. Vol Storm Call. Also buffed by a lot. Okay. Support Gem Balance. Brutality. Now supports any skill that deals damage. Previously required the skill to hit an enemy. What doesn't hit? Like Bane and RF are the only two things that I can think of. And Caustic Arrow. Maybe with Caustic Arrow that would be okay? I don't know. I feel like it's not going to be... Nothing changes. Passive Tree Balance. A new Relentless and Veteran Soldier cluster has been added to the southeast of the Templar's starting location. Relentless causes you to regenerate 1% of life per second and grants 25% increased physical damage. Veteran Soldier grants a plus 10% physical damage over multiple... Oh my god. Veteran Soldier is insanely strong. 20 to maximum life, 20% increased Fizz dam, and 10% like dot multi for Fizz. Vanquisher Cluster has been added to the southwest of the Templar's starting location. It causes you to crush enemies for 4 seconds on hit when you hit them, and they're on full life, and grants 40% increased physical damage. That is fucking broken. Okay. Red Storm Cluster has been removed and replaced with a new Vitality Extraction Cluster. Red Storm. That was the bleeding multi one, wasn't it? Causes you to recover 2% of life on kill if you spent life recently. Grants 25% increased damage with skills that cost life, and life flasks gain 1 charge every 3 seconds. I mean, I guess. I don't... Small nodes at the Scion starting location, which previously granted increased melee physical damage, are no longer restricted to melee only. So they just grant increased damage? Okay. No longer restricted to melee only. So they're basically just like widening the ability for all these things. No longer cause you to lose 5 rage when you hit an enemy. No more than once every 0.3 seconds. That's kind of good. But now the fact that skills cost plus 3 rage, it's going to be more usable now, but less impactful, I think. Corrupted Soul is getting a nerf, which I'm okay with. It was really, 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 really strong and overused. Hardened Scars got a nerf where you now have to be recovering life from a life flask instead of getting in like an enduring one or one of those unique ones that just kept regenerating or whatever. So you don't just perma have fortify, basically. Versatile Stance. Now grants 10% reduced reservation of stance skills. What is a stance skill? Okay. I don't know what all of these do, so I'm just gonna scroll through here, except for Valda's Rest. So you now have a King Harbinger instead of a group of Harbingers, so it's useless. Cool. Just kidding. That's actually pretty strong. It's still pretty strong. It's not as strong, obviously, but it's still pretty strong. I don't remember what any of the other ones do other than in the Uncharted Realms. Neural Pathways now grants a plus 1% chance for a synthesis map to be dropped from unique bosses in tier 14 plus maps. Wait, so it's better if you're doing red maps. If you're not doing red maps, you're not going to be able to do a lot of synthesis. Okay, that's good. I mean, that's good for people early league who love bossing and they have to do it because it's going to push them to grind really hard. Ooh, how's that gonna change things? That's really good. Okay. Okay. Minor nodes now grant 10% increased physical damage. Was 12. Pain Reaper's been replaced with Defy Pain. I wish it would tell me what those are. Oh, wait. Defy Pain. Grants 10 defiance per... Wait, for 10 seconds. Wait, gain defiance for 10 seconds. Whoops. On losing life to an enemy hit. No more than once every 0.3 seconds. 25% increased armor per defiance. 50% increased maximum total recovery per second from Leech while you have Defiance. That's really strong. At 10 Defiance, take reflected physical damage equal to maximum life, then lose all Defiance. What? I mean, I guess? I think it's kind of trash, actually. Nobody's going to use that, I don't think. Flawless Savagery. Crit chance now applies to both attacks and spells, and same with the added physical. Okay, cool. So that's basically going to be for like Reap and Exsanguinate and all the new stuff that's technically doing physical damage, but is a spell. Grants 50% more damage with hits and ailments against enemies that are on low life. Was 25. I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with it. Gladiator is now just changed again to more physical damage over time instead of just bleeding. Primal Aegis now takes 75 damage per allocated notable passive skill. Was 100. So that scale, they said that just scaled a little bit too hard for what they were comfortable with. Leads to the Primordial. It is no longer possible to temporarily bypass your Golem limit. Oh, that was really funny. I watched a guy do a meme build with this. Necromancer, Essence Glutton. Now cause you to regenerate mana when you consume a corpse. Yeah, no, okay. Pathfinder, Master Surgeon. Now removes corrupted blood when you use a flask. Oh. He's like whispering in my ear. This makes me highly uncomfortable. The Orb of Binding has been added to the core drop pool and can be obtained from various sources throughout the game. I like that a lot because 4 links early on are really crazy if you don't get lucky. Like you can be in like Act 7 and not have a 4 link. And it's like, what is happening right now? So getting Orbs of Binding early on is going to be really good. The Sacrificial Garb body armor now drops a +1 to level of all Vol skill gems implicit modifier. That's really strong. Can no longer appear on Crusader influenced body armors or Synthesis implicits. To replace this, modifiers that grant enemies you kill have a % chance to explode, dealing 10th of their life as physical damage, have been added. So there's a new one that's been buffed. However, they basically nerfed it by saying like they have a much smaller chance to explode. So it's not guaranteed, but it does more damage when it does happen. So it'll still be okay. But it's not Crusader based anymore, so you can actually not have to like literally troll yourself. Quivers can no longer roll the global critical strike chance, global crit strike multi, or global damage over time multipliers. Okay, so they just changed it all to with bows and attacks because people were trolling. Existing items cannot obtain the newer modifiers through divine orbs. Okay, so that's for standard players. We are only halfway in. Yeah. A lot of this I might skip through though, because some of it's kind of troll and I don't really care. Wait, to wands and staves, fizz dot multi. Not bad. Okay, prefix. Blah blah blah. Essence changes. These are what I want to see. Okay. General essence changes. Screaming essences can now be used to reforge rare items, in addition to upgrading normal items to rare. This brings them into line with shrieking and deafening essences. Thankfully, that's pretty strong, especially early on. Screaming essences are probably the most common that you get when mapping past yellow. And having to scour every single time you tried to roll something with an essence was really frustrating and annoying and boring. So Deafening Essence of Anguish now has a chance to avoid being ignited with a higher maximum, but the minimum is the same. Contempt Deafening is now buffed by a little bit, not an insane amount, but definitely it's got some it's got a buff for sure. I'm pretty happy with that. No longer grants to weapon range impale effect. Whoa, that's really strong. Okay, Essence of Dread, that's really strong. Armored belts. Oh, mega lol. Imagine armored belts. They basically moved all of these up 1 tier is what it looks like. Yeah, they moved them all up 1 tier. Essence of Envy. No longer grants physical attack damage leached as mana to weapons and quivers. Local added chaos damage to weapons. Added chaos damage with attacks to quivers. That is insanely strong. Okay, that's also going to be really good. Misery. No longer grants projectiles pierce additional targets. That's good. Physical damage leached as mana. That's awful. Okay, I would have rather preferred them do the pierce, to be honest. They buffed the maximum for a chance to avoid being stunned on this, which is good for SSF, but not that useful for me. They buffed the minimum by 4 for Shrieking Essence of Woe for the ES on body armor. They buffed the maximum by 8, which is pretty good. I'm not like super stoked about it, but it's good. Same thing with Deafening. They just increased the ES it gives. Essence of Zeal no longer grants increased stun and block recovery. Ooh, increased Warcry speed. And totem placement to body armor. So that's good. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. Essence of Delirium no longer grants chaos damage leeches life to amulets. Yo, I'm gonna head out. I got homework and chores to do. I'll see you later. Have a good stream and night. I'll see you later, Sassy. Have a good one. Okay, now grants a plus 10% damage over time multiplier to amulets. So with quivers, it is 40% increased damage with poison is gone, and 25% increased effect of your marks. Ooh, that's good. That's good. No longer grants 40% increased damage with poison to rings. Now grants +5 to maximum doom on hexes you inflict. No longer grants 2% maximum mana recovery when you block to shields. +15% chance to block spell damage while on low life. That'll be really strong for people like abusing the low life modifier stuff that they've added. The weapon modifier that causes your hits to inflict decay now deals 700 damage per second for 8 seconds. So it's much better than the 500 it was previously. The chill nearby enemies when you block modifier granted to shields now has a greater radius. I wish they would tell me what the fuck nearby means. Chance to ignite, 30% more damage on low life. That's also really good. Increased area of effect to body armor. You blocked recently. That's good. So it's all buffs, it looks like. Drops burning ground while moving, dealing now does so for 4 seconds. Was 1. Whoa. That's crazy. Okay. The weapon modifier now always casts Fire Burst on hit. It was a previous 10% chance. Existing items with this modifier will be updated to the new value automatically. Okay. 1 second cooldown was 0.5 seconds. Okay. It has increased crit strike. It has really high added damage effectiveness. So this might actually be really strong early on for fire damage scaling people. This is also insanely strong. Holy shit. Essence of Insanity. Okay, that's good. 2 additional... 2 pierce. It's 2 pierce. Okay. 4% increased movement speed. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. 70% increased mana regen while shocked. That's kind of cool. Now grants onslaught for 6 seconds when hit to body armor. It was 3. Okay. Oh. All the rest of those are okay, yeah. Abyss Jewel balance. Regen a lot of ES per second and life. Very, very, very strong. Same with the mana. Effective cold elements, and these are all buffs. Yo, Abyss Jewels are actually going to crank now. Abyss Jewels are going to crank. Oh. They multiplied this by 3 for the minimum. That's insane. And 2.5 for the medium, or for the maximum. New cluster jewel notable. Blood Artist. Fizz.multi. Phlebotomist. Fizz.multi if you've dealt a crit strike recently. And increased critical strike chance. Brand loyalty now causes enemies to take 4% increased damage for each of your brands attached to them. Was 5%. Oh no. What? Dark Discourse now is only 6%. That's trash. Exposure therapy got nerfed too. First among equals is now 6. What? Why are they nerfing it again, dude? Grand Design, 10% increased attachment range. Whatever. Now grants dot multi, blah blah blah. Magnifier no longer grants 10% increased area damage. I felt like the 3 mods on Magnifier was kind of overdone. I did feel like it was kind of stupid, so I mean, they nerfed renewal by 1% double damage, which I'm okay with. Replenishing Presence got nerfed again as well. So no more aura effect. You literally cannot break the breakpoint for aura effect anymore. It will be impossible. Okay. Snowstorm now causes you to gain 8% of lightning damage as extra cold against chilled enemies. That's kind of annoying, but that's okay. I mean, it was really strong. 10% of, like, literally 10% stacked damage was really strong, so. Termination Discipline of Grace have 15% aura effect. Okay, so they're nerfing this really hard. Okay. Alright, Vast Power now grants increased area of effect per power charge up to a maximum of 50, whereas previously it was uncapped. I didn't think you could get above, like, the power charge, like, increased AoE there, but whatever. So it's mostly just nerfs all the way around, except for the very, very beginning, where they added new stuff. Other than that, everything is pretty much getting nerfed, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. Oil changes. Burden oil. Increased experience gain. That's really strong. 5% increased pack size. So less pack size, but way more experience. No longer causes varieties of items containing 5 blight chests to be lucky. Huh. So I think it'll be about, like, back to silver oils, where they're lucky. No, never mind. Okay. Now causes encounter duration to be 40 seconds shorter. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Teal is going to be the play for people farming this stuff. Items containing 4 blight chests to be lucky. Yeah. They might do like 2 of these and then 1 silver for the 65% increased quant. Crafted veiled modifiers being changed. I don't want to go through all those numerical changes. It's going to be boring. So many unique items that were league specific have now also been added to the core drop pool. Death Aura skill granted by the Death's Oath unique body armor now deals base damage that's a lot higher. Law of the Wilds, I don't know what that is. Infernal Mantle's trash. Gluttony unique belt now has a level requirement of 48, was 8. Hello? It was very strong for level 8, I won't lie. The Null's Inclination unique bow. I've never seen that before in my life. Molten Burst, Replica Last Resort, nope. Brand Surge, nope. Vessel of Inkter. Wait, so it's just better? Okay. The damage conversion variation of the Vessel of Inkter now causes 50% of physical damage to be converted to lightning during the flask effect, previously 20%. That's really strong. That's really strong. The Vigil unique jewel now grants Fortify with a base duration of 8 seconds. Okay. Edziri's Rain, Rigwald's Quills. No longer has the Projectiles Fork mod. This has been replaced with an Arrows Fork mod. I guess that's just for the people that were wanding with with quivers on, which was stupid. Apep's Slumber, Coward's Change, Mask of the Spirit Drinker, Dance of the Offered, Story of the Ball, Sacrificial Heart, Architect's Hand. I've never used any of these. I've never seen builds that use a whole bunch of these. The only one that I recognize is Mask of the Spirit Drinker, which is just getting a massive buff, it looks like. Monster changes. The final bosses of each act have had their drops reworked. They now drop both more and better items, so they can be profitably farmed if desired. I think that is really, 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 really good, because it felt so useless to kill each boss. It felt like finishing an act felt like a chore to get through rather than to be excited about finishing. So when I killed Kitava, I don't remember ever dropping anything that actually showed up on my loot filter. Ever. One time. Not once. So, you know, I'm happy about it. The base life of all harvest monsters has been reduced by 30 to 50%. However, harvest machinery now grants monsters around 100% increased extra life on average. The intention here is to keep the life values of monsters spawned in harvest encounters approximately the same as they were before, but significantly lower the life values on the desecrated versions of these monsters to bring them into line with the other desecratable monsters. So basically, that's just for the people that are like cheesing very hard. Okay. Allies cannot die aura has been removed. To replace this, a new Benevolent Guardian Nemesis modifier has been added. Oh my god. Wait, what? That's so good. Okay. I'm okay with that. Rare monsters dominated by Cirrus have had their attack, cast, and movement speed lowered. I mean, I was okay with how it was before. I knew that they were strong, but that's kind of the point. But I guess since he's not, like, no, he's no longer the very end boss, I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like it's okay, though. I'm not upset. Zateash no longer uses his ultimate Molten Strike skill. But it was so much fun to not be able to dodge it. What do you mean? Okay, the Bullthorn skill used by Lieutenant of Rage in the Labyrinth and the Crusher of Gladiators in the Racecourse map has been visually updated and no longer has damage reflection. Oh, thank God. Okay. The Vol Pyramid and Arcade map bosses have had their health increased to bring them closer into line with other map bosses. Increased? Vol Pyramid was already the hardest map I have ever run. It is harder than the Cortex boss, especially early. Okay, whatever. Okay. Okay, so, League mods. Heist? What? Smuggler's Caches. Trash, okay. Harvest. Area contains the Sacred Grove. Okay. Harbinger. I'm okay with that. I like that. I like that a lot. Ambush. Again, I'm okay with it. It's not insane. None of these are good. None of them are good, I will say. Other than Essence, I might actually... I'm going to hold off on that. Fortune favors the brave. Yep. That's cool. User interface changes. The epilogue section of the world screen now contains sections for the Conquerors and Maven quest lines. Epilogue section of the world screen. That's cool. I like that. The Conquerors of the Atlas quest line now has expandable sections in the quest tracker. Expandable sections in the quest tracker. Similar to the Maven quest line. That's cool. Okay. Attack skill gems no longer display. Deals X% of base damage as a modifier. This information can now be found near the top of the gym description when hovering over the item or over the gym. Thank God. That was really annoying. Trying to like scour, like looking through 70, like literally reading an essay to find the percentage of base damage. A single item can now be unstacked from a stack of items on your cursor by pressing Shift and left click. Single item can now be unstacked. Huh. Now, copies the advanced modifier descriptions on an item. Pressing Control click on June, Veiled Master now brings up the Unveil Items interface. Thank God. That was really annoying before. That's like a very, very, very quality of life change. It has no effect on time, but like, holy shit, it was annoying to bring up your safe houses. File Cache Directory UI option, which can be used to change the directory where cache files for the game are stored. I'm not mad at that. Move the List of Item Filters UI option closer to the top of the UI options menu. Oh, love that. You can now use exclamation mark as a prefix to a term such as unique or sort increased physical damage to filter results in a search field. To display results that don't contain the specified search term. Yo. Improve the SSF migration warning. Thank God. That's actually so sick that they did the exclamation mark thing. Okay, filters for influence items can now be found under pseudo stat filters on the trade website. For example, has Shaper influence. Okay, that's fine. Exsanguinate is now offered the Scion for completing the Siren's Cadence and can be purchased from Nessa by the Marauder, Templar, and Witch. Corrupting Fever is now offered to the Marauder, Duelist, and Scion. Okay, did they change anything that's not new? Oh. Efficacy. So they changed efficacy to be also available to the Marauder. Cool. PvP changes. Cool. Maven's button on the map device needed to be deactivated for certain encounters if the Maven was not interested in the area. That was really annoying for 5 ways. That was really annoying. Encounters can now be opened without the button needing to be deactivated. But where the Maven could sometimes fail to leave the map after the boss encounter being completed, that was really funny, where she would just like sit there and float and just keep talking, but the map boss was dead and you're just like looting. Cast when damage taken support could sometimes trigger certain skills that were not linked to it. I never encountered that. Okay. Infernal Legion support was not being affected by damage over time multipliers. Okay. Sometimes possible for non-melee hits for melee skills to grant Fortify. Kinetic Bolt dealing more damage than intended to enemies at a specific distance. Body Swap. Zona missions could sometimes offer blighted maps that couldn't be activated. That actually happened to me one time. I didn't report it because I didn't think it was a bug. I thought it was just a PoE thing, like a GGG type thing, but whatever. I don't want to read through all these bug fixes, but that's really sick. They did really good.